And I refuse to accept the notion that we couldn't have prevented some of those murders, some of those suicides, kept more families home, protected more officers if we had passed some common sense laws. So, look, I understand we won't all agree on this issue. But it's time to be honest. Fewer gun safety laws don't mean more freedom. They mean more danger. Certainly, more danger to police, more fallen officers, more grieving families, more Americans terrified that they or their loved ones could be next. So I'm going to keep calling on the folks in Congress to change the way that they think about gun safety. And if they don't, I'm going to keep on calling on Americans to change the folks in Congress until they get it right. And please do not, some of you are watching certain television stations or listening to certain radio programs. Please do not believe this notion that somehow I'm out to take everybody's guns away. Every time a mass shooting happens, one of the saddest ironies is suddenly the purchase of firearms and ammunition jumps up because folks are scared into thinking that Obama's going to use this as an excuse to take away our Second Amendment rights. Nobody's doing that. We're talking about common sense measures to make sure criminals don't get them, to make sure background checks work, to make sure that we're protecting ourselves. So, supporting law enforcement and having a budget that backs it up, not just because talk is cheap, but actually following through to make sure you've got the resources you need. Reforming our criminal justice system so it is smarter and we can reduce crime while still reducing the incarceration rate. Restoring trust between communities. Refusing to give up on gun safety. We can take those steps. That's within our reach. We can't stop every crime. We can't prevent every tragedy. There is evil in the world. There are just some bad people. You don't know why sometimes. It just happens. You can't always make excuses for it. Sometimes you can't even understand it. That's why we need laws. That's why we need law enforcement. That's why your job is dangerous. So we can't eliminate all of that. But if we take some of the actions I just talked about, then we will be able to help you do what you do every day, which is save people's lives. We'll be able to make sure that the society is a partner with law enforcement, that we're not just sending you out there to do dirty work and then hanging you up to dry if it doesn't work out well, but that instead we're all working together, tackling these hard problems. Because after all, the goal that we share is not just a country with falling crime rates or a country where most of us are safe and all the crime is just in a few neighborhoods that we can avoid. Our goal is a country with rising opportunity and rising hopes and chances for everybody who's willing to make the effort. And I know that police officers so often see America at its worst. Yeah, that's an unfortunate part of the job. But I want you to know that in you, we often see America at its best. You don't just protect us from each other, you build a foundation so that we can trust each other and rely on each other. And that's what America's about. The idea that we're all in this together. That's the idea. We don't always achieve it. I understand. There's partisanship and there's racial division. We got a long history of stuff, and politicians oftentimes make it worse instead of making it better. But at our best, we're in this together. You know, in closing, you may have seen one of the videos of encounters with law enforcement that went viral last year. It was recorded in Tarrant, Alabama. You had a young officer named William Stacy who was called to apprehend a shoplifter at a Dollar General. Officer Stacy was white. The woman who admitted to stealing was black. She stole 3 eggs, she said, because her grandchildren hadn't eaten in days. Officer Stacy ordered her to wait in the parking lot, and he went into the store. The woman was sure she was going to jail. And then Officer Stacy came out with a dozen eggs that he bought for her and her family. That's not just a testament to Officer Stacy, because when the video of the encounter went viral, folks across the country began calling the Tarrant Police Department asking how they could help too. The woman later said she'd been blessed with manna from heaven, all because of one officer's kindness. He pushed my world in the right direction, the woman said, and I will never forget it. That's America at its best. That's some good police work.